What the actual hell is Mo Salah doing? Look at the body language of our players. Just look at this. This is pathetic from Gravenberch. Immediately he's out of the game. He's now having to run back. He's in no man's land. Right, hello everybody, welcome back to the Golden Sky. I'm Tom, and today we are going to be analysing Liverpool's 3-2 defeat to Bournemouth from the weekend. Yet another video, yet another disappointing rewatch for me. I hope you all enjoy this analysis. Let's get right into it. Okay, so we're going to start the analysis off, as always, with clips of the game. But before we dive into things in detail, I just want to preface this video by saying these videos are obviously called tactical analysis, and there's going to certainly be elements of this video that are looking at tactics and tactics-based decisions from Liverpool. But I would argue in this game, what we're going to look at more than anything is things that aren't necessarily tactical. It's still going to be analysis, but there's a lot of things that happened in this game that meant we lost it that aren't necessarily tactical mistakes. They could be mistakes individually. They could be lapses of concentration. They could be bad decision making. They could just be lack of quality. That is more prevalent in this game than many other things. Body language is another one. They are all more prevalent than a lack of a tactical idea or poor execution of tactics in this game. So I just want to preface that. We're still going to do lots of analysis as always. So let's start off. And Liverpool's games seem to follow a bit of a pattern at the minute, and that is when we start games, we tend to actually start somewhat okay, not disastrously. We have the ball, we make a few half chances, we don't tend to score. Still, we've only scored we've scored 2 goals in the first half an hour of a Premier League game this season. 2. One was on the opening day of the season, and the other one was TK in the first minute or something like that. So we don't tend to score early very often, but we do tend to start the games pretty all right. Then the other teams will score a goal, and everything just goes up the wall at that point. We'll then chase the game, and if we get back in it, we throw all of our attackers on. And 3 times this season, that's led to us losing a game in the last minute, and many other occasions we've lost a game not in the last minute. So here's how this one starts. We've got Florian Wirtz on the ball, and we're seeing this formation. So we deployed this again. It was a diamond, let's say. I mean, here it is. Let's draw it on. There's your diamond there. But what it was more like, and it was more like this again at Marseille. We saw it again. It's more of a 4-2-2-2 where you've got you could draw it like a box. It's like a rhombus. I mean, there's the diamond again, but it's almost like a rhombus or a box, if you want to call it that, where you've got 2 holding players and 2 attacking players, and that's sort of how we've been playing. These 4 are very interchangeable. You see Gakpo is not stood out here really wide. Kirkes is the one giving the width over here. Gakpo's acting as a split striker rather than a really high and wide winger. He's equally as ineffective in that position as well. So Wirtz finds his number 10 counterpart here, Dominic Szoboszlai, who turns this one round the corner looking for Mo Salah on the other side of the split striker duo. Salah gets onto the ball, has a little tussle with Trufer, and ends up giving the ball back to Florian Wirtz. Again, what we see is the split strikers and the 2 number 10s. You can see that pretty clearly there. That's our method of setting up. Slot has tried now, must be 100 different formations this season. We clearly don't have a clear identity. That's a big worry. How many videos I've made analysing Liverpool where I've said, oh, we tried this idea in this one, or we tried this one, and then the next video it's different. I would love to come on and say, this is the exact same thing we've been seeing, but it isn't. We clearly are lacking an identity, an idea, and that can be difficult for players to buy into. So Wirtz has the ball, gives it back to Mo Salah, and this is actually a decent chance. I mean, Salah has a chance to have this curling shot, which we've seen him score a lot. He could even, if he really makes a really smart, quick decision, could roll this one to Szoboszlai, who has essentially a free shot on goal. But Salah hits this. I think he's well within his rights to hit this. I don't think any of us would have really any criticism of him to hitting it. Where the ball ends up is where we'd have criticism. I mean, just look at where the ball is. It isn't even near the goal. It's nowhere even close. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. We can talk about tactics all day long, and everyone can pretend like they're a genius who knows exactly how to fix Liverpool. But if we're going to take shots that go this far away from the corner of the post, then we've got no chance of ever winning games. I'm sorry, this is just a lack of quality. And it's not just Salah, before anyone gets onto Salah. There's lots of other players in this team who are experiencing or showing us the lack of quality at the minute. Salah in this game was very, very poor. But you see the general idea of Liverpool. Got those 4 players in and around the box. Kirkers is there as well. And then the 2 holding behind, supporting the team. Right, move it on. Again, more attacking from us. Gravenberch this time winning the ball. Gomez really high up the pitch. We've just tried to, squeeze Bournemouth a little bit, win the ball. And now Salah has it. So here comes Gakpo linking up, doing what a good strike partner should do, making a decent run, let's say. Salah finds him with the ball. Gakpo doesn't really have any advantage here over the defender, who gets really in a good position goal side, so he can't hook this ball, towards the far corner. Maybe first time, he has to go backwards, so just does the right thing here, Gakpo. Goes back to Salah, and now Wirtz makes a nice run. This is a good deep run from your number 10. But you want to see it goes against the grain of everybody else. Look, Gakpo's coming to feet, Gravenberch is coming to feet, so Wirtz makes a run against the grain, and Salah finds him with a nice pass. And Wirtz is in, and this is where we see more decision making from Liverpool. So Florian Wirtz here is going to try and cut this ball back to Dominic Szoboszlai, and I understand completely why he does that. He obviously doesn't think that from this tight of an angle he can score a goal, but he's got to also think, in my opinion, am I ever realistically going to get this ball to Szoboszlai? Because it gets cut out by, I think it's Senesi here in the middle. Is it worth him just smashing it, trying to get it through Petrovic's legs, maybe even going high, David and Gog style against Arsenal? Who remembers that goal? First game of the 2011 season, I think, that one. Joe Cole got sent off. Smashed the ball in this, near post. Just, again, I'm going to be really harsh this video and just call out bad decision making where I see it. And speaking of bad decision making, this is maybe the worst of all. So this is us building up from the back. We saw this idea in the last game with Marseille, where McAllister is now acting as the deepest player in build-up. I actually think it's been a good tactical move, to be totally honest, because it allows Gravenberch to come into these positions where he's much better than McAllister on the half turn, and McAllister is much better than Gravenberch in receiving off the defenders in a first build-up phase. McAllister is much better at showing for the ball. He's not so much of a transition threat. He doesn't really dribble very well. Can't really carry the ball, but he is good at knowing what's around him. He has good awareness. He can move the ball from the goalkeeper, to centre backs. He can pivot it around. Anyway, the ball comes to Gravenberch. He takes it on the half turn. He's dynamic. Plays it to Szoboszlai. We break the lines. It's actually decent from us. We break the lines quite easily. And here's Szoboszlai. And you see now, with the split strikers, we've got runners. Kirkers doing his job high and wide, so the fullback has to be aware. But we've got runners. Gakpo in between the fullback and the centre-back. Salah in between the fullback and the centre-back. This is what having the diamond with the split strikers does for you. It gives you options. Imagine this is Ekatike and Isak. Just imagine. But we end up here, right? And I was mad at this during the game, and even madder on the rewatch, because what the actual hell is Mo Salah doing not having a shot here? Seriously, what is going on? Why on earth he decides to cross this ball with his right foot to try and find Gakpo? I genuinely have not got a clue. Look at James Hill. He is sprinting back in a straight line to try and get level to cut this pass out, which he does. There is no possible way that James Hill can change the angle of which he's running, which is currently this way, right, to quickly change direction and come towards Salah. If Salah just decides, I'll just run towards the goal here, by the time Salah's here, right, James Hill is not going to have ran here. It's not going to have happened. And Salah can just get to here and have a shot. Why on earth does he not just shoot? I genuinely do not. I cannot understand it. This is not, guys, this is not a tactical problem. It was decent play from us from the back. You can look at the tactics of that and you can say that is good tactics. If that's how you want to look at the game. It's just a very basic move from back to front. It's nothing crazy happening. We've got the decent setup. We have 2 strikers making runs. We have a two number 10s, one of them who finds them. This is just bad decision making. That's my analysis of this. It's awful decision making and lack of quality. So let's move it on. Now, this is going to be Bournemouth's opening goal. So again, what are the tactics of this? Well, we're set up in the same pressing structure that we were against Marseille. We've got a three-man front line, which is exactly what we did against Marseille, letting the centre-back have the ball. We're in a bit of a mid-block here. We're not, and what that means is we're not too high. We're not, upright pressing these guys. We're letting the centre-backs have the ball. Our defence isn't too high up the pitch. They might be here if we were in sort of a more aggressive situation. We're just sitting in a mid sort of block. Now, we pressed with a 3 and maybe a 2 behind them, or a 3, whatever you want to say. At Marseille, Gravenberch would drop in to make a back 5, so it'd be a 5-2-3. In this situation, it's more of a 4-3-3. Gakpo dropped in. Senesi is going to just kick this ball long, and imagine the shoes on the other foot. Imagine that we are the attacking team here, so we're Bournemouth in this situation. We're watching Liverpool, and this is Van Dijk about to play this pass. And this is the other team. This is Bournemouth, sitting in a mid-block against us. If our defender played this exact pass Senesi plays here, we would be like, what are you doing? That's a stupid pass. That's dead easy to defend. But watch what Liverpool do. The ball comes over. Virgil van Dijk, I cannot explain what he tries to do here. I genuinely have no idea. And to come out after the game and we blamed the wind is laughable. It really is laughable. And I'm certainly not going to say the analysis of this goal is that it was too windy. I mean, come on. What are we doing? The ball comes over. All Van Dijk has to do here is either just kick this ball out for a corner, use your left foot and kick it out for a throw-in, or just get your body in the way of Alex Scott, shield him off, and shepherd the ball. It can go out for a goal kick, or Alisson can come and get it. There's no way Alex Scott can outmuscle Virgil van Dijk. I'm sorry, there's no possible way. You can just muscle the ball. It's got so much pace on it still. What Van Dijk does instead is try to control it. I don't even know what his idea is here. Let's say he executes the control well and he actually brings it down. He's under immediate pressure from Evanilson, immediate pressure from Alex Scott, and his only pass is back to Alisson. It's a baffling decision. I will never understand it. He doesn't quite control it well enough. The ball bounces up, it hits Alex Scott in the head. It ends up falling to him on the byline. And then his effort to block the cross is laughable. Well, he doesn't make any effort to block the cross. That's the problem. He just stands there, lets it come in. I think he thinks that there's no danger. I think he thinks like Alisson will get it or Gomez. Evanilson's jogging on the spot, is there to convert it home, and we go 1-0 down. And in the process, we lose Joe Gomez. And here's just another angle of our setup. So we've got the 3 here, and then we've got 3 here. What you'll see is Maka is the one with Alex Scott. He's the one who's sort of tracking his run. Scott runs off the back of him. Not particularly in a dangerous way. You know, we've still got players here. You could argue maybe Maka's a little bit slow. Maybe you should go with him. But realistically, the defence can all see this. Kirkes maybe a little slow, maybe a little too wide. Can he get narrow and block Scott off? But there's no danger here. And when the ball comes over to this point, just what on earth is he trying to do? I just don't know what this sort of defending is. It is just atrocious. But look at the body language of our players. This is something I wanted to point out. Compare this to Bournemouth. Look, Krupi on his toes running into the box. Evanilson on his toes running into the box. Okay. Gomez is running back, to be fair to him, but look, Frimpong walking. McAllister stood still. Kirkes walking. These guys are just not the anticipation, the being switched on in the game, sensing the danger. It's just not there. It just isn't there. Let's move on. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, there's more of this. You see Van Dijk just watching the cross. And again, these 3 now are all stationary on the edge of the box. Nobody even attempting to get back in and defend. And then this reaction from Van Dijk. When the ball goes in, both his arms up as if to say, well, what are we doing? It's you, mate. It was you. This is frustrating. This is really, really frustrating. And it'll frustrate a lot of people watching this video, I'm sure. Right, now I move it on. This is Liverpool with 10 men. Joe Gomez has gone off injured at this point. We're about to concede our second goal. And at this moment in time, I put these couple of screenshots in because at this exact moment, in between us conceding the first goal and the second goal, there was 7 minutes of play before Bournemouth scored that second goal, right? At this point, it's been about 3 or 4 minutes, and Arne Slot is currently telling Alisson to kick the ball out of play. There's a clip of it, you can see him. He's telling him, kick it out near me, kick it out. For whatever reason, I cannot understand why, Alisson does not do this, whether he doesn't hear him. Maybe it was too windy for him to hear him. Maybe he doesn't see him. Maybe he just thinks we don't need to. Maybe there's arrogance in our play. We think, well, it's fine. We don't need to do that. Let's try and score. There shouldn't be any arrogance because we're shite. Let's put it that way. But he passes the ball to Gravenberch instead. He doesn't kick it out. We go to Gravenberch and we try and play out. Now, there's nothing that comes of this. I just left it in just to show, again, decision-making of Liverpool in this game. And it costs us. This is still 10 men on the pitch. Gravenberch is playing centre-back. We still try and attack. The ball comes to Gakpo. He cuts inside. He has a shot. I'll let you guess what happens with this shot. If your guess was it gets blocked, congratulations. Who wants to be a millionaire? You've answered the 1p question. It gets blocked. Of course, it comes out to Kirkaz. He now tries to cross it in. It just ends up going straight to the goalkeeper, harmlessly. Liverpool have now had an attack or two with 10 men on the pitch. 7 minutes, again, between when the ball went in for the first goal, Gomez goes off, and the second goal. And here it comes. Here we see Endo stood there like a lemon on the edge of the pitch, just waiting to come on. He's looked at the iPad for 5 minutes. They've given him his instructions. God knows what they said. And Liverpool are about to concede another goal. So what do you notice about this straight away? Well, you should notice Alex Scott is the one, again, making the exact same run as he made before. Exactly the same. The centre-backs have the ball. This time, we've got the same pressing structure, but don't forget, we've only got 10 players on. So we've got 2 here who are not in a position to affect this. And then we've got 3 behind them. Okay? 10 men on the pitch. So Gravenberch not involved. Now, this makes it so super easy for Bournemouth to run into the midfield, where Dominic Szoboszlai currently is. Now, I want you to look at Dominic Szoboszlai's position, and I got a lot of people in the ratings saying Szoboszlai was better than I gave him or whatever, because he obviously got the goal and the assist. This is the things like this are the key. It's off the ball. It's the small details that people don't notice, right? Just look at Szoboszlai here. For me, he has to engage the ball. He has to engage the ball here. James Hill is going to drive right into this area. He has to engage the ball. They cannot just let him run. At a certain point, you have to stop him, okay? Alex Scott is no longer his priority, okay? It needs to be passed on to a fullback, to a centre-back. We have enough players back there to deal with it, okay? But what happens? James Hill just jogs forward, no pressure on it whatsoever, and now Szoboszlai has gone with Scott, but now he's doing nothing. Now he's doing absolutely nothing. He's not marking Scott. This ball can come to him, or can come over the top to him. He's now just stood there, just ball watching. Doesn't do anything. Gakpo ball watching. Wirtz has ran back, but he's never getting close. McAllister's not affecting the game at all. Doesn't screen anything. He's not screening this pass. You know, he can come in here. He doesn't do anything. McAllister is just watching. But it's going to be Jimenez who's going to be the one who scores. And now I'm looking at these players. So I'm looking at Virgil van Dijk. His positioning makes no sense whatsoever. He has to get across here. He has to be here. Gravenberch has to get across, but he's not a centre-back. We've got 10 men, so it's just a mess. Kirkaz has to get narrower. He has to be here. There's no need for this big of a gap to be between our centre-back and our full-back. Even with Szoboszlai there, who is currently acting as somewhat of a defensive midfielder, doing absolutely no defending. And you can see that there. The ball gets played straight past Szoboszlai. And it's not just him I'm calling out in this goal. It's Van Dijk, it's Kirkaz, it's McAllister, it's Gravenberch. But now look, again, McAllister, Szoboszlai walking back. Kirkaz is wrong side. Van Dijk's nowhere near, and Jimenez tucks it in for 2-0. Right, let's carry on. Another angle of this, you can see clear as day, Szoboszlai has to engage this ball. He just has to. This is no longer, excuse me, I don't know how I've managed to do that. This is no longer his responsibility at all. He has to pass this on. Van Dijk can see it. Gravenberch can see this. Everybody has to shuffle across, get compact, get narrow. If you've got 10 men, you've got to get compact. But again, it's just a bad decision making not to kick the ball out, not to foul, not to go and press in the right areas that lead to the goal happening. You see the ball gets played through. He's in no man's land. McAllister's doing nothing. This is not a good position. Neither is this. Neither is this. All 5 of those players, it's just, and also Gakpo, just nothing. Right, let's move it on. More from Liverpool attacking now, trying to get back in the game. Gravenberch finds Wirtz, and look at all this space Wirtz has. And this is, again, lack of quality, just Liverpool taking shots from places and not being threatening with them at all. Wirtz has this shot, it just kind of trickles narrowly wide. We don't get anything from it, but again, we're trying to make something happen at least. Maybe this is an avenue back into the game. Who knows? But we're going to shift it on into the second half, and it's going to be more of the same. Now I've got Ekatike on. You see, we end up immediately, we've got no structure here at all. You can see this player here is actually Robbo. You can't quite see him underneath me, but that's our left back. There's our striker. Here's our centre mid. Here's our number 10. It's just a mess. We just go to an absolute mess. We've got a winger out here on the left. Ekatike and Wirtz play a little bit of 1-2 football. It comes back to Gravenberch in the middle. And now Gravenberch is going to have a shot with his left foot that's going to also go harmlessly wide. But again, just look at our structure now we're losing. This is what Slot does. When we lose ground in games, we go behind. Just look at this. It's just everybody just stood in a line. How on earth are we ever going to penetrate a defence in this situation when we don't have wingers who can take anybody on for a start? So even if let's think of Man City, right? Think of Man City in their absolute peak when they had when they were winning titles with 100 points with us on the tail. Okay, and us as well. When we'd attack low blocks, what's the best way to get round? You have to get the ball wide, you get an overlap, or your winger beats his man, and you cross the ball in along the ground and you get a tap in. That's the best way, because it forces the defence to go all the way back, and if they don't go all the way back, you get players making runs for tap-ins, okay? We've got no wingers that can take on a player, so we can't do that. Instead, we just shuffle the ball, side to side, all the time like this. It ends up in this sort of area of the pitch, right? And then someone ends up having a shot. That's genuinely our approach. Look where we are again. Exactly the same situation, but this time we actually managed to make a little bit of an inroad, and it's from that similar situation that I just described, where we get the ball to a fullback for a run, cutting the ball back, and look how much better of a chance this is. But again, everyone just stood in a line, okay? Robbo makes a decent run. We get the ball to him. This is a good opportunity. This is what you want against the low block. If Robbo gets this ball correct, Salah's got a tap in, Ekatike's got a tap in. Problem is, Robbo hasn't put a good cross in since approximately 1994. So, of course, it gets blocked and cleared away. Now, Rio and Gamoa comes on the pitch, makes an immediate impact. Now, it didn't make a massive impact. But by the time he'd had this ball here, he'd already made one run where he went straight at his fullback, and Jimenez made a tackle about here. Rio should have gone down, and we would have got a penalty. But nonetheless, that doesn't happen. He gets the ball again. He's got his back to goal. It's bounced out from a clearance. What does he do? Does he just recycle the ball and go back home safely to Gravenberch, or, build the attack again? He's not satisfied with that. He wants to run direct with pace. Runs. Jimenez is pulling him already. Maybe in this corner of the box, maybe he could have gone down again, got another foul. But he carries on going. Comes right to the edge of the box. Now he gets pulled down and we win a free kick. This is why I said in the ratings that Rio, for me, made a positive impact, and why I say he's genuinely more of a threat for us at the minute than Gakpo is today. He's a winger who can go past the man. When you play a team who've got players behind the ball, that's what you need. We end up with this free kick. And I don't usually analyse free kicks. I didn't analyse the corner because it's just a corner, but I thought there was a little bit of interesting stuff on this one. You see the angle we've got here. Szoboszlai, at the minute, with Wirtz's position, looks like he wants to shoot through here, like this. Okay, through this gap. What we do instead is we move the ball away by Salah's back heel to change the angle a little bit so Szoboszlai can get more whip on the ball. And take nothing away, this is an absolutely brilliant strike from Szoboszlai. It really, really is. But look where Adam Smith has now come out. He's left his gap. The wall is broken. And Szoboszlai is now going to shoot around Adam Smith instead. Instead of going this way, he's actually got more of an angle to whip the ball. And that's why he scores such a brutal shot. It's a really, really good technique. We should have kicked on then and gone for the win. That, however, was absolutely not the case. And this is 1 minute after we equalise, and it's astoundingly bad. 1 minute after we equalise, so Liverpool's tails should be well up. Bournemouth have thrown away the lead. They've got 1 win in 12 games, Bournemouth, in the Prem. Half their team is out injured, okay? They're in a much worse position than us. They've just conceded. They've thrown away a 2-goal lead. We should be kicking on. They should be thinking, oh my God, we're going to throw this away. Instead, the game resumes. Alex Scott picks the ball up in the middle of the pitch. This is inexcusable. Just watch this. Just watch this. Gravenberch is here. When I talked about in the first half, Szoboszlai not engaging in the ball. This is pathetic from Gravenberch. Alex Scott runs. Where on earth has Gravenberch gone? Where is he going? He was stood here. He has to stay here like Fabinho would, or any midfielder worth their ilk, and put a tackle in when Alex Scott gets to here. Instead, we just let him run and run and run and run and run unchallenged to the edge of our box. The ball breaks to Ryan Christie, who has a really good shot, and Alisson makes a brilliant save from it, to be honest, and tips the ball over. We almost conceded instantly, and it's Gravenberch just nowhere to be seen. He doesn't have the attributes to play defensive midfield, especially at the minute when he's off the pace for me. And that continues here. This clip is maybe the most scandalous of all, and it really, really sums Liverpool up at the minute. We've just given the ball away on the edge of the box. Okay, look at the body language of our players. Just look at this. Curtis Jones, head back. Oh, I can't believe it. I'm not running back. Mo Salah, arms up, head back. Oh, I'm not running back. Ryan Gravenberch, arms out. Oh, giving it away again. Rio, he's the one who gave it away. Head up. Oh, God, I've given it away. We've got 2 players, Wirtz and Ekatike, who have the right body language, ready to run, ready to actually try and affect the game, okay? Ready to make a recovery run. Look where Ekatike is. He's our furthest man forward, okay? And he's the only one who makes anything like an acceptable recovery run here. Bournemouth dribbled this ball out. Ekatike's followed him. Nobody else has made any effort whatsoever. Look at Gravenberch. Just watch Gravenberch in this clip. It's unbelievable. Szoboszlai stood completely still. He's playing right back at this point. I don't know what this position is. He's not at right back. He's just stood in the middle, completely still. He's not affecting anything here. This pass is obviously going to happen. He's not ready to. He's not on his toes. He's not ready to engage. He's just stood there. Whether this is him going right back and him kind of detaching himself from the game a little bit, I don't blame him if that's the case. It's ridiculous that he ends up at right back again, but he does. And you see here what I mean. Immediately he's out of the game. He's now having to run back. He's in no man's land. But look at Gravenberch. Just look at it. Christie's the one with the ball. Gravenberch is 3-4 yards ahead of Christie here. He's got to get across. But look instead. He's just jogging back in a straight line. He's not even looking at the ball. What is going on? Seriously, what is going on here? Is he that tired that he can't run across here? And if he is, why is he playing every week then? We heard today for this game that Ekatike was in the red zone. That's why he didn't start. Kirkus was in the red zone. That's why he didn't play more than 45 minutes. Well, fucking hell. Gravenberch must be in the reddest of red zones because he plays 90 minutes every single week. And in this game, I couldn't see him run. So explain that one to me. You can't. Christie runs all the way. You'll notice Gravenberch has just trotted alongside him, not made a single tackle. Ekatike has ran back. To be fair to him, he's ran back. He didn't make any sort of attempt to tackle, but at least he ran back. And Szoboszlai, like I said, was out of position in the first place, in the first instance of the counter-attack. You see now he's been outran as well. He doesn't get back in. This is his position at right back. This is where he should be. Evan Nilsson gets slipped in, and we get very, very lucky that Evan Nilsson misses this chance. You see, he's too late to challenge. We get very, very lucky that Alisson makes the save again. But our luck did run out in the last minute, and it's a long throw, something that, again, has been the bane of our season. Now, these are very, very blurry screenshots with the ball moving fast and lots of things going on in the middle, but I'm going to point out to you the things that I thought were worth pointing out. Again, it's just a lack of fight, a lack of heart, just Bournemouth wanting the game more than us. They give a little nudge on Van Dijk. His arms are up in the air. You can see he's thinking, foul. Just, he's not strong enough, doesn't get up to jump, and no one else is going to help Van Dijk out, to be fair to him. Was there anybody else in this team who you were confident would win this header if not for him? Well, he doesn't win the header. He gets nudged out of the way. His arms go up. The ball breaks here. This is a challenge in the 6-yard box. Gravenberch has to win it. He doesn't win it. The ball goes towards the goal. Alisson has to scramble. It comes off the post. It's an absolute scramble. And the ball ends up in the back of the net. And again, look, Virgil van Dijk, he's got his arms up, complaining. Mo Salah, arms up, complaining. The body language is really, really poor. And again, we lose the game from a last-minute goal. The most we've ever lost games this season in the last minute. Shocking, shocking result yet again. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I really do hope that you did enjoy it. The analysis today, a little bit different than maybe the typical tactical-based analysis. A lot more in that game was down to just pure heart and desire. I hope that came across in the video today. And if you did enjoy it, please do drop a like on the video. We're trying to get to 30 likes on all of these videos. If you can help me get to that mark, which we've been hitting a lot recently, that'll be amazing. So let's try and get there again. And also, guys, we're trying to get to 500 subscribers. So if you can click subscribe, if you are new around here and you did enjoy today's video, we make these for every single Liverpool game, especially in the Premier League. So click subscribe, help me get to 500. That would be much, much appreciated. I will be back on Wednesday, I believe, for the ratings of the Karabakh game, unless we have some sort of major news, but I'm not expecting any. I am working still on an Alonso video of sorts, a tactics setup Alonso video. That should be a good one. I just need the time to do it. I'm very, very busy with work and things like that. So thank you very much for watching. I will get the videos out. It will be Wednesday at the latest that I speak to you. Podcast listeners, thank you for listening as well. I don't forget you guys at all. And I'll speak to you on Wednesday, if not before then. Thanks for watching, everybody. Speak to you soon.